So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hello. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, very good. So already we have been discussed in the chapter 1, the theories of learning and some of the definition and the nature of learning. In the theories, there are 5 theories we have been discussed. That is Pavlov, Ivan Pavlov theory, that is classical conditioning. And the another one is the, what is it's called, the Skinner theory, operant conditioning. And another theory by name, Tarantic theory.
Tarantic.
Yes, that is Tarantic theory, the trial and error. And the another theory, it is developed by Kohler, that is, what is it's called, the insightful learning theory. And another theory by observation method by whom? Observation method, that is Bandura's theory. Yeah. And the last theory, that is by Tolman purpose, that is called another cognitive development theory. So today we are going to discuss another important concept. What is it called? The learning principles. What are the various learning principles? Some of the learning principles. One of the most important learning principle is number 1, reward. Reward. So in every experiment, there is some reward. Without reward, it won't respond. For example, we'll discuss in the first theory, that is in Pavlov theory, 1927, who defined that an object that influences a change in behavior or learning. The dog salivates. So what happened when the dog is going to salivate? So the Pavlov, what he is going to do that. So whenever he is going to give the money, whenever he is going to give the food or bell associated with the food. So food associated with bell. Here the bell is it is only what is called the conditioned stimulus. So here, along with bell, the food is the, what is it called, the reward. In reward. Then at the same time, that is called, if you are going to continuously giving the without any food, without any reward, what happened? There is no question of getting this alive. There is no question of getting the response. So that here the reward is one of the most important thing. Is reward is well with associated with that is CS associated with UCS. So here CS is the general that is stimulus associated with UCS, that is called the what is it's called the that is reward. It is one experiment in Pavlov experiment. Come to the Tarantic experiment. In Tarantic experiment is also called also when the cat is put in the case. The cat is put in the case. What happened? Automatically the cat is moving this side and that side. Then unfortunately press the bar and getting the what is it's called the some non-veg, something or fish or something. So here getting the here the fish is the reward. That is the one of the most important things. Reward is here than fish. So when you are going to give that when you are going to get that without giving any what is it's called the without giving any reward, without giving any fish and other thing, automatically what happened? What happened? Definitely it is it is not a reward. If without giving the reward, so it won't be doing the experiment. Here the law of readiness. Law of readiness in the sense that is without giving any reward in the sense hungry rat put in the cage, then moving this side and that side. That is law of exercise. And getting the what is it's called the reward. So when it is going to reward, so the cat press the bar, getting the something food. So here the food is the law. The food is the reward. So for each experiment, there is some reward. In Skinner, for example, you will take the Skinner. Skinner also he put in what is it called the white rats are the dove. He put into the Skinner box. So the dove also moving this side and that side. So and press the bar, get the food. So here the pressing, then getting the food is the what is it's called the that is the reward. So in Skinner experiment, he is the first person to introduce what is it's called the reinforcement. Reinforcement is nothing but a what is it's called the reward. So in each experiment, everywhere there is a rewards. Rewards make you come back for more. When you are going to give the rewards, definitely you are getting the good result, good experiments. So that's why in day-to-day life, people are going to give the more rewards and getting the, what is it's called, the good result. So rewards are more important. Then come to the insightful learning. In the insightful learning also, so already there is a reward. Already the bananas are hanging. So he put that table or small stool and what is it called, this stick. But what happened? He's moving this side and that side. The table and stick is not at all useful. That the ape thinks that it is not at all useful for me. So that's why I'm going to just throwing that one and this one. Just they think, the ape think like that. Then after going and simply sit in the corner of the cage or corner of the room, automatically what happened? Simply, yes, this stick and the stool is very useful for me. I will get that, what is it called? I will get the bananas. That is what is it's called, the reward. If you are going to get that, you will get that a plan, you will get the bananas. So here bananas are also what is it's called the rewards. Like that, almost all the every experiment there is a reward. Without reward, there is no experiment in learning particularly. Not only in learning, every experiment is there. What is it's called the a goal oriented. Goal oriented. Then when the hunger is more, what happened? Automatically, the drive states that the primary rewards. Primary rewards. When we are hungry, what happened? We are searching for the what is it's called the food. So when you are getting and we are going to get that food, automatically you are going to satisfy. That is also one what is it called the one way or the other way of the reward. Sometimes, but sometimes it is very difficulty. For example, uh, hunger can increase the incentive value of food. Incentive of the food. We are waiting. We are waiting for the. That means incentive motivation is guided by Pavlovian cues for rewards. The cues becomes attributed with the importance of the incentive, and so the Pavlovian reward cue serves the triggers of the motivation and help the enable arouse effects of physiological drive states and the almost partial substitute for the rewards they represent. So what happened here? When you are going to very hungry, the rat is full hungry. It moves this side and that side very fastly, very fastly. So automatically the rat is going to get that food and the satisfied that. So here that is a, what is it's called the, it is a one type of reward. Simply they say that it is one type of reward. All the process of reward learning and the modification of the psychological process, they're all within each operating the simultaneously. So these are the some of the important rewards. So everywhere there is a food or some other thing, it is a reward. Then come to the another concept. What is it? It is a punishment. Punishment. So previously there is a at the time of first preparing of the maize and other thing, it is introduced by B.F. Skinner. Skinner, punished can be defined as a noxious stimulus, one which will support by its termination or omission the growth of new escape or the avoidance responses. Punishment is thus viewed as a consequence that as follows: an operant responses that decreases the likelihood of the response occurring in the future. So what is there are two types of punishment. One is the positive punishment and another one is the negative punishment. In an attempt to decrease the likelihood of the behavior occurring in the future, an operant response is followed by the presentation of aversion stimulus. This is a positive stimulus. If you stroke a pet for in a manner that it finds the unpleasant, the pet may attempt to bite you. Therefore, presentation of the pet's bite will act as a positive punishment and the decreasing of the likelihood that will stroke the pet in that same manner in the future. Then what is the negative? Negative punishment. In an attempt, likelihood behavior occurring in the future. So when the child rebels, he or she may lose the privilege of watching her favorite television program. So therefore, they lost the viewing of the privilege, will act of the negative punishment and the decrease of the likelihood and child rebelling or talking back in the future. So therefore, punishment should be aid in reduction of the behavior through applicant of the what is called the unpleasant stimulus. Unpleasant stimulus is also called, that is called the positive punishment. Then are the removal of the pleasant stimulus That is called the negative punishment. So these are the two important types. What is it called? The punishment in and the negative punishment. So the effectiveness of the punishment as control of the behavior depends on a wide variety of factors. So there are nearly 11 factors are there. The 11 factors, number one, intensity of the punishment stimulus. So if the punishment is severe, so it is a intensity of the punishment. Intensity of the punishment is one of the most important. If the punishment is more, what happened? Nowadays, spare the rod, spoil the child nowadays. But olden days, spare the child, spare the rod, mold the child. So it is what is it called? The punishment as a controller of the behavior depends on the factor intensity of the punishment of stimulus, number one. B, whether the response being the punished is an instrumental one or not. Number three, whether the response is instinctive, reflexive. D, whether it is established originally by reward or the punishment. Whether or not the punishment is closely associated with the time punished responses. The strength of the response to be punished. And familiarity of the subject with the punishment being used. So these are the another important factors. So you please kindly read this one. And the age of the individual, that is also most important. When you are going to give the punishment, you must see what is the age of the child or other thing. And at the same time, some of the personality factors of the individual also is sometimes the punishment, if you are going to give the severe punishment, automatically the childs are going to become rebels. These are the most important positive, what is it called, the positive, negative punishment. And the another important thing is the reinforcement, positive and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is nothing but a reward, and negative reinforcement is a what is it's called the negative reinforcement is also called the punishment. Same thing almost. But research has found that positive reinforcement to be most powerful type of reinforcement. Adding something to increase a response not only works better, but allows both parties focus on the positive aspects of situation. So some of the schedules of the reinforcement, next one. So applying the one of the type of reinforcement every time behavior occurs, the schedule that is called the continuous schedule. So there are two types of continuous schedules, fixed ratio schedule and a fixed interval schedule. A fixed ratio schedule refer. 1 minute, please. So fixed ratio schedule refers to applying the reinforcement after a specific number of behaviors. Fixed, it is a fixed. For example, disciplining a child after asking him 3 times to clean his room, the child will begin to realize that he can get away with 2 requests before he has to act. Therefore, the behavior does not tend to change until the right before the preset of the number. That is fixed ratio schedule. Fixed interval schedule. Applying the reinforcement after a specific amount of time. Here the time is the most important. After, for example, after half an hour, after, for example, might be getting a raise in salary only annually and not in between. Or a major problem with this schedule is that people tend to improve their performance only before the time of period expires so as in gain best. So when the reinforcers are are applied an irregular basis, they are called the variable schedules. Here there are one is there are two types. One is fixed ratio schedule and fixed interval schedule. When the reinforcement are applied an irregular basis, they are called variable schedule. Variable schedule. So in variable schedule, mainly variable ratio schedule. What is variable ratio schedule? It refers to applying the reinforcer after the unpredictable or variable number of responses such that behavior is repeated in anticipation. The schedules create the steady high rate of the responding. Gambling and lottery games are a good example for this type of the variable ratio schedule. And variable interval schedule, reinforcement and act after the variable amount. Time refers to the variable interval schedule. If you have a teacher who checks your work periodically, you understand the power of the schedule. You don't know when the next checkup might continue. So you have to working hard at all time in order to be ready. So these are some of the schedules. So you please kindly read it. That is what is called the reinforcement, positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. There is a punishment and reward, etc., etc. So simply they are going to asking that what is the questions like this: define positive and negative reinforcement. Or another question, what is it's called the write about the schedules of reinforcement. So here the write about the schedules of reinforcement is the most important here. Then come to the another one, what is it's called the transfer of training or transfer of learning. So transfer of learning refers to the dependence on the human conduct, learning or performance on previous experience. The notion was originally introduced to the transfer of practice by Tarantic and Robert Woodworth. So here there are the three types of transfer of training. That is what is it's called the transfer of training is nothing but what is its main definition, understanding of the transfer of learning. It involves one's own transferring of the knowledge and skill from one problem solving situation to the next. Transfer of learning is so our everyday practice. We do this without conscious thought. But transfer of training or transfer of learning is mainly, there are three types. One is the positive transfer of training. Positive transfer of training. What do you mean by positive transfer of training? Positive transfer of training or learning is said to be positive when learning or training carried out one situational proves helps to the learning another. For example, transfer of learning. A person playing a badminton. So it is easy to play for the shuttle or table tennis or lawn tennis. A person he knows that what is it called the cycle. It is easy to drive the scooter also. So this is a positive. If a person knows that in Tamil, or he knows easily that is Malayalam, like that. So a person knows Hindi, it is easy to know that Sanskrit. So if one concept is going to help in the next situation, that is called the positive transfer of training. So another negative transfer of training. When the learning of one task makes the learning of another task difficulty, it is known as negative transfer of training. For example, in the left-hand drives, vehicles are hindering the learning of right-hand drive. For example, a person is driving the four-wheeler driving. So this is not at all useful for a pilot. When he is going to enter in the crew, in the cockpit, he don't know anything. So the driving is not at all useful here. Or sometimes very difficulty. In abroad countries like America, they have a right-hand driving, but left-hand driving. For ours, we have a right-hand driving. So that is also sometimes it is a difficulty. So these are the some of the that is called the what is it called the negative transfer of time. So we have give some more examples. For example, a person is going to is a good player in cricket, but it is not at all useful in the volleyball. Just you can write that one, no problem. Whatever example you are going to give. Tell me some more examples. Anybody? Do you have any idea, Mr. Srinivas? Hello?
Sorry, sir, I can't hear, sir.
Okay. So positive and negative transfer of training. Positive is always if once you are learning something that is useful for the later time, that is called the positive transfer of training. For example, when you are going to drive, what is it called? When you are going to take the bicycle. So when you know the how to drive that bicycle, it is easy to drive the what is it called the scooter. But at the same time, when you are going to drive the tractor, and it is easy to drive the a car, etc., etc. So this is the positive way. When you are going to play the cricket, it is easy to play the what is it called the hockey and also. So that is one is useful for the next one. That is the most important. The negative one, in the negative, what is it called the negative transfer of training. The previous thing is not at all useful for the next thing. For example, you are playing what is it called the cricket. It is not at all useful for a volleyball player. You don't know anything. If you know the Telugu, you don't know the writing of the into Urdu. So there is some difficulty negative. The Telugu subject is not at all useful for those who are learning the what is it called the Urdu. Sometimes Urdu is not at all useful for knowing of the Hindi for writing. So these are the negative relation. But another one, what is it called? There is no transfer, zero transfer. When learning of one activity neither facilities nor hindering the learning of another one, in case neutral transfer, it is also called the zero transfer. For example, knowledge of history in no way affects the learning. For example, you are an expert in the history, but it is not at all useful for the driving of the learning of driving car. So these are some of the examples. So you please give me some more examples. You have any idea? Either positive transfer of training, negative transfer of training, zero transfer of training. Any example, please?
Sir, positive transfer is from school days. We are the basics study. We will stand now, sir. Then we will go higher education. It will easy for us, sir, for learning purpose.
Hello. So sometimes it is a negative. For example, you are driving in India. Here what happened? There is a right hand driving. But when you go to the abroad countries, it is very difficult to do that. That is also negative transfer of training.
Yes.
Some more examples, please. Player in a cricket, but it won't be useful for the, what is it called, the volleyball player. So these are the not relating that. This is the, what is it called, the, it is a negative transfer of training. Then another one, zero transfer of training. There is no transfer. It is not at all useful. So another transfer is also is there. Bilateral transfer of training. Bilateral. Some people, some cricketers, they are playing with both hands. They are bowling with one hand and batting with one hand. So they are calling it, they are called the bilateral transfer of training. That is it. I think you know that some of the people, they are bowling with the right hand, and another one is the, what is it called, the bowling with right hand and the batting with the left hand. So that is the, some people only do that like that. So I think it is a, sometimes they are going to asking the way, what type of questions asking in this chapter is, what is transfer of training, and explain various types of transfer of training. This is the question. So you have to write the, what is meaning of the transfer of learning. Then in the transfer of training, there is a one big experiment in there. That is in a cup and ball experiment in practicals. There are cup and ball experiment. Cup and ball experiment, first they are going to using that. In the first, whether the transfer of learning is occur or not, they are doing the experiment. What is the experiment is, there is a cup and ball experiment is there. Cup and ball experiment, the experimenter is going to ask the subject, you do the experiment. What is that experiment? There is a cup and ball. When the ball is going to come into the cup, they put in the cup, they are going to give the 3 marks. And the ball is coming and just touch the, what is it called, cup, then they are going to give the 2 marks. Then if that is not at all touching anything, they are going to give the 0 marks. Cup and ball experiment. So first 50 trials, they are going to do the left hand. So they are going to put in the, there is a systematic table is there. It is prepared by the experimenter. Every trial he is going to put the marks. The ball is going to put in the, what is it called, the cup is going to give the marks, 3 marks, 2 marks and 1 mark. Then in the first trial, second trial, third trial, there is a 50 trials, they are going to do the, what is it called, the unpreferred hand. Unpreferred hand. Unpreferred hand is nothing but what is it called, the left hand. Then later what happened? 200 trials. 200 trials, they are going to do the right hand. So after 200 trials, they are going to do. Then later, after the experience of the right hand, again he is going to do the left hand. Left hand. So what happened? Then 50 trials he is going to do, and they put into the data in that 50 boxes and add all the score and the comparing of the previous one and the last one. If the previous score is, what is it called? If the previous score is, previous score is 40. After 200 trials, his score is 60. 60. What is its, whether the positive transfer of training or negative transfer of training? In the previously, there are the
transfer of training.
positive transfer of training. If a person is going to get the only 30, what is it called?
Negative transfer of
negative transfer of training. So this is also one type of experiment you are going to do in learning. That is, if the experience will come, positive transfer of training will occur. That experiment is proved that one. But sometimes but nobody is getting the negative transfer of training. Almost all people, they are going to get the positive transfer of training. This is a cup and ball experiment. So you can do in your practicals also. But it is a very useful practical. After practice, everything is going to become transferred from negative to positive. So here, what is it called? The most important thing is the practice is the most important. And the learning, training, that only we are going to give that. If the training is more, automatically they learn. So training is necessary for learning. But sometimes that positive transfer of training, sometimes negative transfer of training, sometimes zero transfer of training. Then later what happened? It is only sometimes bilateral transfer of training. So transfer of training will occur depend upon your, what is it called, your interest. That is, sometimes some people must do the actively, then only they get the experiment in a good manner. Some people, they won't do the seriously. Automatically, the results are not at all correct, and the totally it is a disappear of the experiment. That's why whenever you are going to do the experiment, the psychologist, the experimenter will do the good rapport to the subject and create the interest in the subject. The subject is more interested, definitely is going to do the good experiment. So that is the transfer of training. So you have to write like that. So it's more than enough for that. Then come to the another important chapter. What is it's called? The memory. Memory. So what is memory? Memory.
Remember in mind, sir.
What is memory? What is memory?
Storage in brain, sir.
Pardon?
Storage in brain.
Then, so when you are going to use your memory, for example, I am going to asking your what? Please tell me your date of birth.
For recalling
Yes.
memories.
Yes. So most important thing is the memory is one of the important factor in our life. So if you are not getting the memory in your examination, what happened? Totally disappear. So memory is nothing but it is just like a recollecting of the past experience. That is the most important. Past, PASC, past experiences. So sometimes we are going to asking, what is your birthday? Please tell me, where is your studies? high school studies. Please tell me your classmate names. So these are some of the questions relating to the memory. So nowadays, memory is a very, very, very big problem nowadays. So there is what is it called, the most of the people, they are going to forgetting everything. Because of how they are going to forgetting, generally we will speak sometime. How you are going to forgetting? Because there is no use. But some people, they say that sometimes every day you have to read at least half an hour. Then only you are getting the good knowledge. So memory means it is nothing but what is it called? The memory is the nothing but a recollecting of the past experience. That is the most important. Recollecting of past experience. Past experiences. So here that is the is mainly, there are 5 types of memories. That is called that is 5 R's. 5 R's under 5 R's. So in the 5 R's, number 1, first one, recall. Please note down. 5 R's, recall. Then recognition. Then relearning. Then retention. The last one, redintegrative memory. Redintegrative memory. So one of the most important, a famous psychologist by name Ebbinghaus, he conducted more experiments on memory. So he prepared one instrument also, that is called the memory drum. He used that, what is it called, some nonsense syllables. Nonsense syllables means there is without meaning. So there is no meaning. What are the characteristics of the nonsense syllables? It won't give any meaning, and in the middle of only 3 letters are there. In the middle of these vowels are there. So these are the important things. So he conducted more experiments on that is in memory. Ebbinghaus prepared another board also, that is called the tachistoscope. So he introduced the nonsense syllables and used it in the tachistoscope. And at the same time, the tachistoscope is used for the span of attention. But he is going to prepare a list of nonsense syllables and continuously showing what is it's called the 50 seconds or sometimes 30 seconds. Then first 5 words are giving. Each word showing only 30 to 45 seconds. So after seeing that one, then the experimenter is going to give some paper and ask the subject, you please write whatever you see. So here the 5 R's is the recall. Recall is it is nothing but a recall. Here there is no answers. Just you recall. Sometimes the questions are like this. What is the capital of America? Then, or some of the questions, give the answer in one word. There is no answers here. You have to get that one. What is it called? The oka matalo jawabu rayandi. 1 mark question. Then dash. That is a recall. You have to recall. It won't get. For example, where is Charminar? Dash. Then where is Taj Mahal? Dash. So these are the, what is it called, the recall. You have to recall. Then only you are going to fill that, fill the answer. Then whereas the recognition is the, what is it called, the recognition. In the recognition, there are 4
choose the answers.
There are 4 answers. That is what is called the multiple choice questions. The answers, 4 answers are there. What is your duty? Your duty is just like what is recognize which answer is correct. Multiple choice questions are almost all exams nowadays. This method we are going to using. So there are 4 answers. Simply you are going to encircle the answer or you put the answer somewhere. This is called the recognition. So this is some of the most important thing is there are so many experiments. So he knows your recognition power. How there is some experiments are there. First 4 photos are going to show in British ladies photos. They are going to show the 4 photos. Please see these photos, 4 photos. Later what happened? The 4 photos associated with the 20 photos. 20 photos. Almost same, relatively same. Then he is going to ask in the subject, you please kindly pick the 4 photos. The previous you are observed that photos, please get that one. So the subject sometimes is going to get, sometimes is it is not possible. Almost British women is the same bobbed hair and almost all same, but there is some difference are there. Then the person, the psychologist, whether the recognition power is good or not, and he is going to use some formula. What is the formula? The formula is rights minus wrong by total into 100. So on the basis of that score, how much recognition power is there? So they are going to do like that. Yes, it is a simple experiment. Manam kuda cheyachu. So we are also going to do that one because the reason recognition power enta varaku undi, how much recognition power is there. So it is a very simple experiment. Even when you are going to write the exam, UPSC, APPSC, TPSC, whatever it may be, DSA, that is you are simply give the answer and put that answer just in a tick mark. That is called this recognition. If the recognition is poor, particularly that occur in the old age, there are so many diseases related to the memory. We'll discuss later that one. What are that? Amnesia, paramnesia, dementia. These are the diseases related to the memory. So another one, what is it's called? The recall and recognition, relearning. Relearning is the another important thing. Already some information is in your brain. So it is easy to learn. But so we don't recollect our recently teachers, but we recollect our high school teacher. So he gave some poems and whatever it may be. So if you have some information in your, what is it called? For example, you will, previously in the young age, you learn the Vemana poem, Vemana or Sumati, some of the English poems, it is easy. But the latest poem, it is very difficult because the reason there is some information is in your mind. So that is called the relearning. Then another one is the retention. Retention is the one of the most important, the memory. If your ideas and your material, everything stored in brain, that is called the retention. Those who are the store that material the long time, they are the good. That is the retention is good. But reintegrative memory is also a simple concept. Simple concept in the sense, for example, wherever and whenever you are going to show a rose, so what happened? So whenever we are going to show the flower, what is it called? rose flower. The children are says that yes, the flower is related to Chacha Nehru. It is a very simple concept. Flower is related to the Chacha Nehru. That is called the redintegrative memory. When you are going to drive your car or bike, there are some marks. A small boy is going running with the bag. Simply, what is the symbol of that one? What is the symbol that one? You please kindly go slowly. There is some school is there. These are the what is called just like a cues. These are the redintegrative memory. Simple things are the simple things are the sometimes it is the creating the big one. This is the most important one. So these are the 5 R's. Simply we are going to calling as the 5 R's. Then come to the another concept, the how it is the what is the process of the memory. So tomorrow we'll discuss the already you are tired. It is very important. See here that what storage, retrieval, how we are going to coding. In the coding, acoustic coding, visual coding, tactile coding, these are the some of the codings how you are going to. In there is a what is it's called the mnemonic devices. Mnemonic devices. It is a German word, mnemonic. Kondaguttulu attack. So when you are going to, for example, how many colors are there in the rainbow? Simply they says that the VIBJR, the colors. That is the what is it's called the mnemonic word. Mnemonic. The word is derived from the German word. So thank you very much. Okay, tomorrow we'll meet again. Then any doubt and any discussion, a small discussion, any 2 or 3 minutes. So only I think very less people are going to attend. So any doubt, Pujita, Sai Sri? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.